Well, Lorenzo Codogno was chief economist for Italy's Treasury and is a professor at the London School of Economics. Welcome back to the programme, Lorenzo.
Thank you.
Italy's Prime Minister says he can't govern, but he hasn't been allowed to resign. So what happens now?
Well, first of all, it's a procedural step. In other words, Draghi passed the confidence vote at the Senate and the lower house. So, and that was related to a specific package of measures. So you can say why, you should resign. So I think President Mattarella took the right decision to ask him to go back to Parliament, present the program, the government program between now and the end of the political term, and gain a full confidence vote. If the five-star movement decides not to support the government, then probably Draghi will resign and we'll go back to the President Mattarella. And then you have three options, effectively. Either another government led by Draghi without the five-star movement, or another government led by someone else as a caretaker for a few months until the elections in the spring of next year, or early elections.
Would early elections that they've been talking about solve the problem, though?
Well, not really solve the problem. I mean, elections are part of the democratic process. So, Italy was due to be to go for elections in the spring of next year anyway. So the issue is whether it is best in this situation to bring the election forward, or to wait a few months until the natural deadline. Probably, given that the majority is already starting to fall apart, the ideal solution, in my view, would be either for Draghi to continue with the same coalition, so a compromise with the five-star movement, or early elections, because keep in mind that the next few months will be very difficult to answer, because as we approach the deadline for the elections, party will start to try to differentiate their position from the rest of the majority in order to gain in electoral terms. And so my guess is that the government will be in a very difficult position and probably unlikely to deliver major reforms. So if that is the situation, it's probably better to have early elections.
The kind of political upheaval, instability we're seeing now in Italy is nothing new for the country, though.
Well, I think there are some institutional issues that need to be addressed in order to have a more stable system. Unfortunately, there have been many attempts in the past, but none of them have been particularly successful. So we are here, the political term started in 2018 with an election that ended up with two major forces, populist forces, winning the election. And since then, we have already got three completely different governments. So I think probably Mattarella thinks at this stage, if it doesn't work, the current one and the support by the five-star movement is withdrawn, then it's probably better to go for early.
Professor Lorenzo Codogno from the London School of Economics, thank you very much indeed for talking to us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.